Last Tuesday, I was grabbing coffee at my usual spot when something weird happened. The barista, a college student I'd seen dozens of times, handed me my order and said something that stopped me cold. "You know," she said, "I just turned in a 20-page research paper, and I honestly don't remember writing a single word of it." She wasn't bragging or complaining, she was just stating a fact, like mentioning the weather. That's when it hit me. We're living through a revolution that's so quiet, so seamless, that most people don't even realize it's happening. See, while we've all been watching the headlines about Jack and debating whether robots will take over someday, artificial intelligence has already quietly, methodically, fundamentally transformed America. And I mean everything from how our kids learn to how our economy works, from the music we create to the lies we believe. The revolution isn't coming. It already happened, and most of us miss it entirely. That barista wasn't unusual. She's part of the 89% of students who now admit to using Jack for their homework. But here's what's really wild: another study shows that 92% of undergraduate students are using AI in some form, up from just 66% 1 year ago. We're talking about an entire generation that has fundamentally changed how they think, learn, and create, almost overnight. For many of these students, AI isn't a tool they occasionally use, it's become their first instinct when they hit any kind of intellectual challenge. And it's not just students. That same week, I was talking to my neighbor, a middle manager at a tech company, who casually mentioned that his team's productivity had increased by 55% since they started using AI coding assistants. 55%. That's not a small improvement, that's the kind of productivity gain that reshapes entire industries. He said it like he was talking about getting a new coffee machine for the office. This got me curious. So I started digging. What I found was staggering. We're not just talking about a few tech companies experimenting with AI. We're talking about a complete economic transformation that's happening right now, in real time. The numbers are almost incomprehensible. By 2030, artificial intelligence is projected to contribute $19.9 trillion to the global economy. To put that in perspective, that's larger than the entire GDP of the United States. The US AI market alone is expected to explode from $146 billion in 2024 to over $851 billion by 2034. But here's what really got my attention: every dollar invested in AI is generating $4.60 in economic impact. That's not future speculation, that's happening right now. Companies that have adopted AI are seeing returns that would have been science fiction just 5 years ago. Microsoft is spending $80 billion on AI infrastructure this year. Amazon is investing $75 billion. Meta has committed $60 to $65 billion. These aren't just big numbers, they represent the largest technological infrastructure investment in American history. The thing is, most people have no idea they're already living in this AI-powered world. A study found that 77% of consumers are regularly using AI platforms, but only 33% actually realize they're interacting with artificial intelligence. Every time you ask Siri a question, a Netflix recommendation, or have your email automatically sorted, you're experiencing AI. But that's just the surface level. Let me tell you about what's really happening beneath the surface. And it starts with something called AI agents. Now, I know that sounds like tech jargon, but bear with me because this is where things get really interesting. We've evolved way beyond those simple chatbots that used to frustrate everyone. Today's AI agents are more like digital employees that never sleep, never take breaks, and can process information at superhuman speed. I came across a story about Sullivan County, New York, a small county with a tight budget and limited staff. They deployed AI-powered virtual agents to handle citizen services 24/7. These aren't just answering simple questions, they're processing requests, handling complex inquiries, and freeing up human workers to focus on strategy. If a small county in New York can do this, imagine what's possible for major corporations or federal agencies. But here's where it gets really wild. We're not talking about single AI programs anymore. We're talking about networks of AI systems that can collaborate to perform complex, multi-step tasks with minimal human oversight. Gartner predicts that by 2028, AI agents will be making 15% of daily work decisions. Think about that for a second. 1 in 7 workplace decisions will be made by artificial intelligence. The economic implications are staggering. The AI agents market was valued at just $3.7 billion in 2023, but it's expected to reach $103.6 billion by 2032. That's a 44.9% annual growth rate, and 82% of organizations plan to integrate AI agents by 2026. This isn't some distant future, this is happening right now, and it's happening fast. Microsoft's research shows that workers at nearly 70% of Fortune 500 companies already use Microsoft 365 Copilot to tackle repetitive and mundane tasks, from sifting through email to taking notes during Teams meetings. But 2025's AI agents will do much more. They'll handle entire tasks on behalf of humans. As Microsoft's Charles Lamna puts it, think of agents as the apps of the AI era. I started thinking about what this means for regular people, for workers, for families trying to plan their futures. The headlines talk about AI displacing jobs, and there's truth to that. Goldman Sachs reports that AI could displace the equivalent of 300 million full-time jobs globally. That's a scary number, but like most things with AI, the reality is more complicated than the headlines suggest. The World Economic Forum's latest report shows that while AI will displace an estimated 92 million jobs by 2030, it's also expected to create 170 million new ones. That's a net gain of 78 million jobs. But here's the catch: this isn't just about the total number of jobs. It's about which jobs disappear and which ones get created, and whether people can make that transition. The reality is already hitting hard. So far in 2025, there have been 340 layoffs at tech companies affecting 77,999 people. That's for 191 people losing their jobs to AI every single day between 2018 and 2023. The United States lost over 700,000 manufacturing jobs to automation in 2022. India's IT sector shed 70,000 workers as AI automated routine programming tasks. These aren't future predictions, this is already happening. I talked to one professional animator who's been in the industry for over 20 years. He told me, "I went to school for this. I've done it professionally for over 2 decades. I hate the idea of having to switch to something different, simply because any idiot with a keyword can produce what I used to charge thousands of dollars to do." That hit me hard because it captures something deeper than just job displacement. It's about seeing a lifetime of skill and craft suddenly devalued. But then I started meeting people on the other side of this transformation. IBM recently replaced approximately 100 human resources roles with AI agents capable of handling repetitive tasks like responding to employee emails, processing paperwork, and reorganizing data with minimal human supervision. Their Ask HR agent now automates 94% of HR tasks, including pay statements. But the story isn't just about replacement, it's about transformation. Workers who've learned to collaborate with AI are commanding a 56% wage premium compared to those who haven't. AI engineers are earning an average of $136,000 annually, with some positions exceeding $100,000. The key insight I kept hearing was this: the most valuable workers of 2025 aren't those who can compete with AI, but those who can collaborate with it effectively. Companies are calling these people super agents, humans who can orchestrate teams of AI tools to solve complex problems. It's not about being replaced, it's about being augmented. This transformation is particularly visible in software development. 63% of professional developers now use AI coding tools, and they're completing tasks 55% faster than before. GitHub Copilot alone serves over 15 million users and generates over $1 billion in annual revenue. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella revealed that 30% of Microsoft's code is now AI written. But here's what's fascinating: while AI is automating routine coding tasks, it's creating demand for higher-level skills like system architecture and strategic thinking. The most successful companies are seeing AI as an amplifier of human capability, not a replacement for it. Google's Roy of Gen AI report found that 45% of companies seeing productivity gains. Say generative AI has doubled employee output. This isn't a marginal lift, it's a complete shift in how teams produce, plan, and deliver work. When deployed through low-code or no-code tools, these technologies scale faster and deliver higher returns. In fact, 59% of companies say AI built on no or low-code platforms delivers the most transformational impact. Now, let me tell you about what's happening in our schools, because this is where the transformation gets really personal. Remember that barista I mentioned? She's not an outlier. Walk into any American classroom today, and you'll witness a quiet revolution that's reshaping education from kindergarten through college. I spoke with Holly DeStefano, a middle school English teacher, who described watching suspiciously similar answers rolling on her learning platform in real time. She told me, "I really think that they have become so accustomed to it. They lack confidence in their own writing. This isn't just about a few students cheating, this is about an entire generation that's fundamentally changing how they approach learning and thinking." The statistics are stunning. Not only are 89% of students using chat for homework, but searches for AI humanizer tools software. That makes AI-generated text sound more human. Spike around final exams. Students have become sophisticated in their use of these technologies, layering different AI tools to create assignments that can slip past detection systems. Professor Melissa Rickman is reluctantly going back to in-class handwritten assignments to ensure authenticity, but she admits the exhaustion. "I'm leaning towards that, but I'm also like, ugh, handwriting. It's just so much policing." Another professor, Sarah Gallagher, told me that after a mandatory seminar promoting AI use at her college, she realized, "There's no way for me as a professor to tell if someone's cheating." The problem is compounded by the fact that AI detection tools are unreliable. They often produce false positives and incorrectly flag the work of non-native English speakers. Meanwhile, students are getting more sophisticated in their approaches. One student shared with me, "I use Jack to brainstorm ideas, Grammarly to polish the writing, and then Quillbit to paraphrase sections so it doesn't sound AI-like. By the time I'm done, even I'm not sure how much is mine versus the AI's." But focusing only on the cheating crisis misses the bigger picture. Some educators are discovering AI's incredible potential for personalized learning. Shannon Zarobsky, a high school math teacher in Illinois, uses AI to tailor complex math problems to her students' individual interests. She creates scenarios for aspiring athletes, entrepreneurs, video gamers, and musicians. This kind of personalization would be impossible without AI's ability to generate tailored content at scale. Carnegie Learning's Mavia provides one-on-one intelligent tutoring, adapting to each student's unique learning path and providing real-time feedback. In Texas, Ebele Kukuwagu, a dean of instruction, reports saving 5 to 10 hours every week by using AI to draft feedback for teacher observations. That time savings frees her up for meaningful coaching conversations with teachers. AI is handling the scalable, administrative parts of education while freeing humans to focus on mentorship and relationship building, the parts of teaching that machines can't replicate. This transformation is forcing a fundamental reevaluation of what education should be. As education researcher Tricia Bertram-Gallant puts it, people are starting to realize that we are no longer in the business of delivering information. We are in the business of facilitating human-to-human learning environments. The most successful educators are shifting from being the sage on the stage to being a guide on the side. They're focusing on developing uniquely human skills, critical thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence, and the ability to work effectively with AI tools. Students need to learn not just academic subjects, but how to be thoughtful, ethical partners with artificial intelligence. But all of this is happening within a larger geopolitical context that most people aren't aware of. The AI revolution is igniting a new kind of Cold War, with 3 superpowers pursuing radically different visions for humanity's AI-powered future. In Washington, Beijing, and Brussels, policymakers are making decisions that will determine not just technological leadership, but the fundamental values embedded in the AI systems that will govern our lives. The United States has chosen a clear path: unleash private sector innovation and minimize regulatory barriers. President Trump's January 2025 executive order, removing barriers to American leadership in AI, explicitly rescinded previous safe-to-focus policies to prioritize economic competitiveness. Above all else, the logic is straightforward: if companies are free to compete without regulatory constraints, American ingenuity will naturally produce the world's best AI systems. The numbers support this approach. Nearly half of technology leaders say that AI is fully integrated into their company's core business strategy. A third say AI is fully integrated into products and services. This integration is creating what PwC calls 20% to 30% gains in productivity, speed to market, and revenue across organizations. But the regulatory landscape is fragmented. At least 31 states have enacted their own AI laws, each with different requirements. A company must navigate California's focus on preventing algorithmic discrimination, while simultaneously complying with Colorado's legal duty of care for AI developers. This fragmented landscape creates enormous compliance costs and legal uncertainty. China has chosen the opposite approach: massive state coordination and investment to achieve technological dominance. The government is orchestrating an all-out push to dominate AI development as a central pillar of national security. The results are startling. Chinese AI models like DeepSeek are reportedly achieving performance comparable to Western systems at a fraction of the cost. This has sent shockwaves through Washington, raising alarms that China is rapidly closing the technology gap despite stringent U.S. sanctions on advanced semiconductors. China's AI talent demand has soared as companies aggressively seek skilled professionals. Universities are expanding AI-related programs to meet this demand, creating a coordinated ecosystem of education, research, and commercial development that's difficult for market-based systems to replicate. When the Chinese government commits resources to AI development, they're not just funding research, they're reshaping their entire educational and industrial infrastructure. The European Union has charted a third path: comprehensive regulation designed to ensure AI serves human values and fundamental rights. The EU AI Act is the world's first comprehensive AI regulation, representing a deliberate choice to prioritize safety, transparency, and human dignity over the speed of innovation. It establishes a 4-tier risk classification system, banning AI applications deemed to have unacceptable risk, such as government-led social scoring or manipulative AI systems. These 3 approaches are now clashing on the global regulatory battlefield. The EU's strategy hinges on the Brussels effect, the idea that EU regulations become global standards because it's easier for multinational companies to adopt one high standard than to manage multiple different requirements. Since the EU AI Act applies to any company wanting to sell AI products in the EU's massive single market, European regulators believe they can set the de facto global standard. In May 2025, the U.S. House of Representatives narrowly passed a 10-year moratorium on state AI laws as part of a budget reconciliation package. This 115 to 114 vote represents one of the most significant federal actions on technology policy in decades, attempting to override the state patchwork while preserving federal legislative space. However, the bill's fate in the Senate remains uncertain, with Democratic lawmakers challenging the AI moratorium under the Byrd Rule. But while policymakers debate regulation, the technology itself continues to evolve in ways that challenge our fundamental assumptions about creativity, truth, and human expression. Let me tell you about a story that perfectly captures this double-edged nature of AI's power. In 2023, a song called Heart on My Sleeve went viral, amassing millions of streams on platforms like TikTok and Spotify. It featured what appeared to be a collaboration between Drake and The Weeknd, except neither artist was involved. The track was created by an anonymous artist known as Ghostwriter, who used generative AI to clone the artist's voices with stunning accuracy. The music industry's response was swift. Universal Music Group issued takedown notices, and the song was scrubbed from major streaming services, but the precedent was already set. The Recording Academy controversially deemed the track eligible for Grammy consideration. because the lyrics and composition were entirely original and human-written. This case exposed the legal gray areas we're still trying to navigate around AI-generated content. Musicians are now discovering AI's incredible creative potential. AI can isolate individual elements from complex recordings, allowing artists to extract perfect vocals from decades-old tracks. Independent musicians can experiment with sounds and styles that were previously impossible or prohibitively expensive. High-powered tools can generate music in any style, help with chord progressions, and even create full orchestral arrangements from simple melodies. The same technology that enables this creative expression is also enabling sophisticated deception. Let me tell you about the $25 million Hong Kong deepfake scam, which represents a new category of fraud that was impossible before AI. It started with a standard phishing email, purportedly from the company's chief financial officer, requesting a secret transaction. The finance employee in Hong Kong was initially skeptical exactly the response security training is designed to create, but the scammers didn't just reply with another email. They invited him to a group video conference. On the call, the employee saw not just the CFO, but multiple senior colleagues he recognized. They greeted him by name, discussed the transaction in detail, and their voices and mannerisms appeared perfectly normal. Convinced by the presence of the entire team, his skepticism evaporated. He proceeded to make 15 separate transfers to 5 different bank accounts, totaling $25.6 million. The entire meeting was a fabrication. Every participant except the victim was a real-time AI-generated deepfake. The fraud was so convincing that it went completely undetected for a full week, until the employee followed up with corporate headquarters, and the horrifying truth was revealed. This wasn't an isolated incident. In the United States, the proportion of identity fraud cases involving deepfakes jumped from 0.2% to 0.6% in a single year, a more than tenfold increase. A 2024 study revealed that nearly half of all businesses surveyed had already experienced some form of AI deepfake fraud. Cybercriminals are deploying specialized malicious AI tools like Wormed, designed to automate the creation of hyper-realistic, grammatically perfect phishing emails, and malware. Voice cloning tools that need only a 3-second audio sample are now readily available. This means a brief phone conversation, a social media video, or even a voicemail can provide enough material to create convincing fake audio. The fundamental shift here is economic. In the past, creating convincing fake videos or audio required the resources of a Hollywood studio or highly skilled professionals. Today, AI has collapsed the cost and skill required to execute sophisticated fraud to near zero. This creates a profound challenge for trust and security. It's no longer enough to trust what we see and hear. But the same AI creating these threats is also revolutionizing industries in positive ways. In healthcare, AI is achieving breakthroughs that seemed impossible just years ago. The UK's National Institute for Health and Care Excellence says AI technology for detecting broken bones is safe, reliable, and could reduce the need for follow-up appointments. Urgent care doctors miss broken bones in up to 10% of cases, and AI systems can provide initial scans to catch these missed fractures. Using medical data from 500,000 people, AI systems can now predict with high confidence a disease diagnosis many years later. Researchers can pick up signatures in individuals that are highly predictive of developing diseases, like Alzheimer's, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and kidney disease years before symptoms appear. A UK study found that an AI tool successfully detected 64% of epilepsy brain lesions previously missed by radiologists. The AI was trained on MRI scans of over 1,100 adults and children globally, and could spot lesions more quickly than doctors, discovering tiny or obscured ones that had evaded human detection. At Mount Sinai Health System, they've opened a center combining artificial intelligence with data science and genomics. The facility houses 40 principal investigators alongside 150 graduate students, postdoctoral fellows, and computer scientists. Eric Nestler, director of the Friedman Brain Institute, explains, by integrating AI technology across genomics, imaging, pathology, electronic health records, and beyond, Mount Sinai is revolutionizing doctors' capacity to diagnose and treat patients. In one remarkable case study, an AI system achieved a diagnostic accuracy rate of 94% in detecting lung nodules, significantly outperforming human radiologists, who scored 65% accuracy in the same task. This implementation has relieved radiologists of mundane tasks through automation, enabling them to dedicate more time to interpreting complex cases and delivering personalized patient care. Microsoft and Mayo Clinic are collaborating to develop multimodal foundation models that integrate text and images for radiology applications. These systems can help doctors get better and more comprehensive medical data faster, potentially speeding up diagnoses and improving patient care. The AI can analyze radiology images while simultaneously processing patient histories and symptoms to provide more accurate assessments. But perhaps the most exciting development is in materials science. Microsoft research has developed Mattergen, a generative AI model that operates similarly to text-to-image AI models. Instead of screening millions of possible materials, a process that can take years, researchers can describe specific properties they need, and Mattergen generates new materials based on those requirements. When a material generated by Mattergen was synthesized in the lab, its properties were within 20% of the targeted material's properties. This breakthrough could accelerate progress in industries like energy storage, electronics, and biomedical engineering. As one researcher put it, human civilization is always dependent on material innovations. If we can use generative AI to make materials design more efficient, it could accelerate progress in industries like energy, healthcare, and beyond. The business world is experiencing equally dramatic transformations. Salesforce's Agentforce is a new layer on their existing platform that enables users to easily build and deploy autonomous AI agents to handle complex tasks across workflows, from simulating product launches to orchestrating marketing campaigns. CEO Mark Benioff describes this as providing a digital workforce where humans and automated agents work together. Real companies are seeing real results. Simmons & Simmons uses Microsoft 365 Copilot to achieve incremental productivity gains and launched PerCI, an AI chat for legal professionals designed for forensic analysis of complex documents. Singapore's Civil Defense Force created apps to automate rostering and manage catering while using AI to predict fire risk. Their sales teams report 20% admin time savings. UBS built the legal AI assistant to help employees locate information much more quickly, providing significant productivity gains. Uniphonic uses Copilot to analyze conversations across platforms, extracting insights in minutes instead of hours. This has driven a 20% increase in sales outreach while cutting research, documentation, and summarization time by up to 40%. Volvo Group developed a solution using Azure AI services that has saved them more than 10,000 manual hours. KPMG Australia is using AI to perform advanced text analysis of dozens of client-sourced documents to identify compliance issues in a fraction of the time previously required. These aren't isolated success stories, they represent a pattern happening across industries. According to EY's research, organizations allocating at least 5% of their total budgets to AI are significantly more likely to report positive returns across productivity, operations, and innovation. PwC found that companies achieving AI success are seeing 20% to 30% gains in productivity, speed to market, and revenue. The manufacturing sector is particularly transformed. AI implementations bring decreased operational costs, 24/7's production capability, predictive maintenance, reduced downtime, improved quality control, and enhanced safety. Foxconn, a supplier for Apple, replaced 60,000 factory workers with robots in a single factory. Over 500,000 new industrial robots were installed globally in 2021 alone. As companies accelerate automation, Rockwell Automation uses AI-powered predictive analytics to optimize operations on multiple levels. This enables manufacturers to reduce downtime, minimize waste, and optimize production schedules, translating to significant cost savings and increased output. The company deploys AI for data-driven decision-making at the ground level, transforming how manufacturing operations function. In retail, companies like Nordstrom are using AI to analyze vast amounts of customer data, including purchase history, browsing behavior, and style preferences. This allows them to provide targeted product recommendations, curate personalized style boards, and power chatbots that answer fashion-related questions. The result is increased sales and customer satisfaction through personalized experiences at scale. The transformation extends to financial services. Goldman Sachs estimates that generative AI has the potential to improve productivity growth by 1.5% and raise global GDP by 7%, equivalent to $7 trillion over the next 10 years. Banks are using AI for fraud detection, risk assessment, algorithmic trading, and customer service. Real-time transaction pattern analysis powered by AI catches fraudulent activity faster and more accurately than ever before. But perhaps the most significant change is happening in how we think about work itself. Microsoft's research shows that in 2025, one trend is certain: AI will continue to drive innovation and unlock new potential for people and organizations around the globe. Chris Young, Executive Vice President at Microsoft, explains, AI is already making the impossible feel possible. And over the past year, we've seen significant numbers of people and organizations moving from AI experimentation to more meaningful adoption. The most successful companies are treating AI not as a replacement for human workers, but as a tool for human augmentation. Reid Hoffman's concept of superagency describes how individuals, empowered by AI, can supercharge their creativity, productivity, and positive impact. Even those not directly engaging with AI can benefit from its broader effects on knowledge, efficiency, and innovation. Workers at nearly 70% of Fortune 500 companies already use AI-powered tools for tasks like email management and meeting notes. But 2025's AI agents will handle entire workflows autonomously. Think of a customer service interaction where an AI agent doesn't just answer questions, but processes payments, checks for fraud, and completes shipping actions, all without human intervention. This evolution is creating new job categories. Demand for AI engineers, machine learning specialists, and AI ethics officers is exploding. But it's also creating opportunities for existing workers to become super agents, people who can orchestrate multiple AI systems to solve complex problems. The key is developing skills that complement rather than compete with AI capabilities. Amazon's Reskilling 2025 program is investing $1.2 billion to provide employees access to training programs that prepare them for higher-level jobs. The UK announced a national retraining scheme investing £100 million to train workers displaced by AI and automation. Companies are realizing that investment in human capital is essential for successful AI transformation. Research from Denmark studied workers who transitioned from physical to cognitive occupations. Through retraining programs, workers who enrolled in formal education courses like construction workers, entering architecture degree programs successfully moved into knowledge-based roles in the same field. This suggests that reskilling can be effective when properly structured and supported. The challenge is that 70% of job skills will change by 2030. McKinsey projects that 30% of work hours could be automated within this decade. The World Economic Forum notes that 50% of all employees will require reskilling by 2025. This isn't just about learning new software, it's about fundamentally reimagining how humans add value in an AI-augmented world. But here's what struck me most as I researched this story. Every creative breakthrough also becomes a potential weapon, and every challenge also creates new opportunities. The same AI that helps doctors diagnose cancer earlier can create deepfakes that defraud companies of millions. The same technology that personalizes education for students can be used to cheat on assignments. The same systems that boost productivity can eliminate jobs. What we're witnessing is the emergence of entirely new categories of both opportunity and risk. AI has democratized capabilities that were previously available only to experts or large organizations. A single person can now create professional quality videos, analyze complex data sets, or write sophisticated software, things that would have required teams of specialists just years ago. At the same time, we're seeing the emergence of what experts call digital skepticism, a healthy paranoia about digital communications, especially those involving urgent request or emotional manipulation. Organizations are implementing zero-trust security architectures where every identity and request must be rigorously verified. Regardless of how authentic it appears, the Hong Kong scam succeeded because it exploited human psychology, our trust in familiar faces and voices. But it also revealed something deeper. We're entering an era where seeing is believing no longer applies. Every video call, every audio message, every piece of media evidence now requires verification. Financial institutions are responding by implementing multi-factor authentication for large transactions, establishing out-of-band confirmation procedures for unusual requests, and training employees to maintain skepticism even in apparently normal interactions. But the challenge goes beyond technology. It requires changing fundamental human behaviors around trust and verification. As I dug deeper into the story, I kept coming back to a fundamental question: how do we harness the tremendous benefits of artificial intelligence while protecting against its risks? The answer, I realized, isn't primarily technological, it's human. The choices being made today by individuals, companies, and governments will determine whether AI becomes primarily a force for human flourishing or a source of unprecedented disruption. We're at a crossroads where the economic stakes couldn't be higher. Every dollar spent on AI generates $4.60 in economic impact. Nations and companies that master AI will dominate the next phase of global economic development. Those that fall behind risk relevance. For the United States, maintaining economic leadership requires embracing AI innovation while managing its disruptive effects. This means supporting the entrepreneurial ecosystem that has made American companies global leaders, while simultaneously helping workers adapt to rapidly changing job requirements. The World Economic Forum's finding that 50% of all employees will require reskilling by 2025 isn't just a statistic, it's a call to action. In education, the path forward requires moving beyond the current crisis over academic integrity to embrace AI's potential for personalized learning. This means focusing on uniquely human skills, critical thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence, and the ability to work effectively with AI tools. Students need to learn not just academic subjects, but how to be thoughtful, ethical partners with artificial intelligence. The geopolitical competition between American innovation, European regulation, and Chinese state coordination will shape the global AI landscape for decades. The United States must find a balance that preserves its innovative advantage, while ensuring AI development serves democratic values and human welfare. Perhaps most importantly, navigating the AI future requires preserving and strengthening human connections. As one observer noted, we can't let this amazing tech divide us like social media has. We have a responsibility to not forget the most important technology, and that is human connection. This means using AI to enhance rather than replace human relationships. It means ensuring that AI systems serve human values and priorities rather than pursuing optimization for its own sake. It means maintaining spaces for human creativity, judgment, and connection in an increasingly automated world. The remarkable story of AI in America in 2025 is ultimately a story about human choice and agency. The technologies being developed and deployed are not inevitable forces of nature, but human creations that reflect human values, priorities, and decisions. The future they create will be determined by the wisdom, creativity, and collaboration of Americans across all sectors of society. Standing back and looking at everything I discovered, I realized that we're living through a transformation comparable to the Industrial Revolution or the dawn of the Internet age. The opportunities are immense, the challenges are significant, and the outcome is not predetermined. What happens next depends on the choices made by individuals, communities, businesses, and governments across America. The AI revolution is not coming to America in some distant future. It is here now, reshaping everything from how children learn to how seniors receive healthcare, from how businesses operate to how citizens engage with government, from how Americans work to how they create and consume entertainment. That barista Who handed me my coffee wasn't just a student adapting to new technology. She was a representative of the first truly AI-native generation in human history. Her casual acceptance of AI as a collaborator rather than a tool represents a fundamental shift in how humans relate to intelligence itself. Understanding this transformation, preparing for its implications, and working to shape its direction may be the most important challenge facing our American society in 2025. The statistics and trends I've shared provide a foundation for that understanding, but they're just the beginning of a conversation that every American needs to join about the kind of AI-powered future we want to create together. The choices we make today as students learning to collaborate with AI while preserving critical thinking abilities, as teachers embracing AI as a tool for personalized education while maintaining their role as human mentors, as companies investing in worker retraining alongside productivity improvements, as policymakers crafting regulations that support innovation while protecting democratic values, will determine whether artificial intelligence becomes a force for broadly shared progress or concentrated advantage. Organizations that align business models with strong infrastructure, project governance, and workforce readiness can scale faster, automate routine tasks more effectively, and serve as valuable insights that shape long-term outcomes. The companies succeeding with AI are those implementing it strategically across multiple functions, not just as isolated use cases. According to McKinsey's research, 90% of companies plan to increase their AI investment, but only 1% have achieved full operational integration. This maturity gap presents a strategic advantage for organizations willing to invest in comprehensive AI transformation rather than piecemeal adoption. The winners in this transformation won't necessarily be the companies with the most advanced AI. They'll be the ones that best integrate AI into human workflows, culture, and decision-making processes. They'll be the organizations that use AI to amplify human capabilities rather than replace them. The United States has the opportunity to lead the world in developing AI that serves human flourishing. This requires embracing both the tremendous potential and the serious responsibilities that come with artificial intelligence. It requires courage to innovate, wisdom to regulate thoughtfully, and commitment to ensuring that AI's benefits are broadly shared. The infrastructure investments being made today will determine America's AI competitiveness for decades to come. The shift from traditional data centers to AI-optimized facilities requires massive capital investments but creates the foundation for continued American leadership in AI development and deployment. The $500 billion in private AI infrastructure spending plan for 2025 alone represents computational capacity that will enable breakthroughs we can barely imagine today. Edge computing and neural processing units are bringing AI capabilities directly to consumer devices, reducing reliance on cloud services and enabling new applications that require real-time processing. This distributed approach to AI means that the technology will become even more embedded in our daily lives, from smart home devices to autonomous vehicles to augmented reality experiences. The social implications of these technological developments are profound and still unfolding. AI is changing how Americans learn, work, create, communicate, and even think about intelligence itself. The first AI-native generation is growing up with capabilities their parents never imagined, while older Americans are adapting to technologies that challenge fundamental assumptions about human uniqueness and capability. The economic implications extend far beyond the technology sector. AI is projected to boost U.S. GDP by 1.5 percentage points annually with widespread adoption, potentially contributing $10.7 trillion to North American economic output by 2030. But this wealth creation won't be evenly distributed. The risk of increased inequality looms large, as AI may disproportionately benefit higher-income workers who can effectively harness these technologies. The educational system faces the challenge of preparing students for a world where AI capabilities are ubiquitous while ensuring they develop critical thinking skills and human capabilities that remain irreplaceable. The workplace transformation requires massive retraining efforts, with 375 million workers globally needing significant retraining. By 2030, the healthcare system is integrating AI capabilities that can diagnose diseases, predict health outcomes, and personalize treatments in ways that promise to save lives and reduce cost, while raising questions about medical privacy, algorithmic bias, and the appropriate role of human judgment in healthcare decisions. The financial system is using AI for everything from fraud detection to investment decisions, creating efficiencies and capabilities that benefit consumers, while potentially introducing new forms of systemic risk that regulators are still learning to understand and manage. The national security implications of AI development affect everything from military capabilities to economic competitiveness to information warfare. The ability to develop, deploy, and control advanced AI systems is becoming a key determinant of national power. In the 21st century, perhaps most importantly, AI is changing how Americans think about intelligence, creativity, work, and human purpose. When machines can perform tasks that were once considered uniquely human, from writing poetry to diagnosing diseases to creating art, it forces a reevaluation of what makes humans special and valuable. The year 2025 represents a pivotal moment in this transformation. The decisions made by policymakers, business leaders, educators, and individuals about how to develop, deploy, and regulate AI will shape American society for generations to come. The opportunities are immense, from solving climate change and curing diseases to expanding human creativity and capability in ways we're only beginning to understand. But the challenges are equally significant, ensuring that AI benefits are broadly shared, managing the risks of AI-powered misinformation and fraud, maintaining human agency and dignity in an increasingly automated world, and preserving American leadership in technologies that will define global power relationships all require thoughtful, informed action. The AI revolution is here. It is happening silently, but its effects are profound and accelerating. Whether you're a student, a worker, a parent, or a citizen, you're already living in an AI-powered world. The question isn't whether AI will transform our society, it already has. The question is how we'll choose to shape that transformation going forward. The code has been written, but the story is still being written, and that story, our story, is up to us. But as I wrap up this investigation, I keep thinking about specific moments that really drove home how profound this transformation is. Let me share a few more stories that show just how deep this goes. I spoke with Dr. Sarah Chen, a radiologist at a major hospital in Boston, who told me something that gave me chills. Last month, she said, I was reviewing chest x-rays when our AI system flagged a tiny shadow that I had missed. It turned out to be early-stage lung cancer. That patient is now getting treatment 6 months earlier than they would have if we'd caught it through traditional methods. That's not just productivity, that's a life saved. Her story represents thousands of similar cases happening across America's healthcare system. At Stanford, AI systems are now reading pathology slides faster and more accurately than human pathologists. At Johns Hopkins, AI is helping surgeons plan complex operations by creating 3D models from patient scans. These aren't future possibilities, they're happening right now, saving lives and improving outcomes for real patients. Then there's the story of Maria Rodriguez, a customer service manager at a Fortune 500 company who was terrified when her company announced they were implementing AI chatbots. I thought I was going to lose my job, she told me. But what happened was the opposite. The AI handles all the routine questions, password resets, account balances, simple troubleshooting. Now, I spend my time on complex problems that actually require human judgment and empathy. I'm more valuable to the company now than I ever was, Maria's experience reflects a pattern I found throughout my research. Yes, AI is eliminating some jobs, but it's also creating new categories of work that didn't exist before. AI prompt engineers are earning 6-figure salaries crafting the perfect instructions for AI systems. AI ethicists are in high demand to ensure these systems don't perpetuate bias. AI trainers work with companies to help employees adapt to AI-augmented workflows. The retail sector provides another fascinating case study. Best Buy uses AI to predict exactly which products customers will want in each store, reducing waste and improving customer satisfaction. Walmart's AI systems track inventory in real time, automatically reordering products before they run out. Target uses AI to personalize marketing so effectively that they famously predicted a teenager's pregnancy before her father knew about it. But the transformation goes beyond just efficiency gains. I visited a small manufacturing plant in Ohio, where AI has completely revolutionized operations. The plant manager, Tom Johnson, showed me how their AI system monitors every piece of equipment in real time. It knows when a machine is going to break down before we do, he explained. Last week, it detected irregular vibrations in motor number 3 and told us to replace a bearing. Without that warning, we would have had a complete breakdown that could have shut us down for days. The financial services industry is seeing equally dramatic changes. Morgan Chase uses AI to analyze legal documents that would take lawyers 360,000 hours to review, and the AI does it in seconds. Bank of America's AI assistant handles 1 billion customer interactions annually. Charles Schwab uses AI to detect fraudulent transactions with 99% accuracy, protecting customers from financial crimes that would have been impossible to catch manually. In agriculture, John Deere's AI-powered tractors can plant seeds with precision, down to the individual plant, optimizing spacing and depth for maximum yield. Farmers are using AI-powered drones to monitor crop health, detect pest infestations, and apply fertilizers and pesticides only where needed. This precision agriculture is increasing yields while reducing environmental impact. The transportation sector is experiencing its own AI revolution. UPS uses AI to optimize delivery routes in real time, saving millions of miles and gallons of fuel annually. FedEx's AI systems predict package delays before they happen, allowing proactive customer communication. Airlines use AI for everything from fuel optimization to predictive maintenance to dynamic pricing. Even small businesses are being transformed. I met Jonna Kim, who runs a small bakery in Seattle. She started using AI tools to predict customer demand based on weather, local events, and historical data. Before AI, I was throwing away 20% of my baked goods every day, she told me. Now, I make exactly what I need, and my profit margins have increased by 30%. It's like having a crystal ball for my business. The entertainment industry showcases both AI's creative potential and its disruptive power. Netflix uses AI not just for recommendations, but to decide which shows to produce based on viewing patterns. Spotify's AI can generate personalized playlists that feel handcrafted for each user. Video game companies use AI to create vast, detailed worlds that would take human artists years to design. Hollywood is grappling with AI's impact on creative work. The recent writers and actors strike centered heavily on AI protections. Studios are using AI for everything from de-aging actors to creating digital backgrounds, to generating initial script drafts. The technology promises to democratize filmmaking. Independent creators can now produce professional quality visual effects that previously required million-dollar budgets. But the creative applications raise profound questions about authenticity and ownership. When AI can write music in the style of any artist, compose poetry that rivals human poets, and create art that sells for thousands of dollars, what does it mean to be creative? I spoke with several artists who are finding ways to collaborate with AI rather than compete against it, using it as a tool to explore new creative territories they couldn't reach alone. The legal profession, long considered immune to automation, is being revolutionized by AI. Law firms use AI to analyze case law, predict legal outcomes, and draft routine documents. AI can review contracts faster than any human lawyer, identifying potential issues and suggesting modifications. Some AI systems can even argue cases. Though they're not yet appearing in courtrooms, real estate is another industry being transformed. AI can predict property values more accurately than human appraisers. By analyzing thousands of factors including neighborhood trends, school ratings, crime statistics, and even satellite imagery showing property conditions, Redfin's AI can estimate home values so precisely that they'll make cash offers based solely on algorithmic assessments. The insurance industry uses AI for risk assessment, fraud detection, and claims processing. Progressive's AI analyzes driving patterns through telematics to offer personalized insurance rates. State Farm uses AI to assess storm damage from aerial imagery, speeding up claims processing from weeks to hours. Health insurers use AI to identify high-risk patients and intervene with preventive care before expensive emergencies occur. In energy, AI is optimizing everything from oil exploration to renewable energy production. Google's AI reduced cooling costs in their data centers by 40%. Utility companies use AI to predict energy demand and optimize grid operations. AI helps wind farms position turbines for maximum efficiency, and solar farms track the sun for optimal energy capture. The military applications of AI are extensive and somewhat classified. But what's publicly known is staggering. The Pentagon oversees 685 AI-related projects tied to major weapon systems. AI helps analyze satellite imagery, coordinate logistics, and even assist in strategic planning. The ethical implications of autonomous weapon systems are still being debated, but the technology is advancing rapidly. Space exploration is being revolutionized by AI. NASA uses AI to plan Mars rover routes, analyze data from space telescopes, and even discover new exoplanets. SpaceX's rockets use AI for autonomous docking with the International Space Station. AI is helping scientists process the vast amounts of data collected from space missions, leading to discoveries that would be impossible with human analysis alone. Environmental monitoring has been transformed by AI. Scientists use AI to track deforestation through satellite imagery, predict climate change impacts, and monitor wildlife populations. AI helps optimize renewable energy systems and identify opportunities for carbon reduction. The technology is becoming crucial in the fight against climate change. The security implications of this AI transformation are enormous. Cybersecurity. Companies use AI to detect, respond to threats in real time. AI can identify malware, detect network intrusions, and even predict cyber attacks before they happen. But the same technology enables more sophisticated attacks, creating an arms race between AI-powered offense and defense. Privacy concerns are mounting as AI systems become more capable of analyzing personal data. Facial recognition systems can identify individuals in crowds. AI can analyze social media posts to predict behavior, political leanings, and even mental health status. The balance between AI's benefits and privacy protection is becoming one of the defining challenges of our time. The global race for AI supremacy extends beyond just the US, China, and Europe. Countries like Israel, Canada, Singapore, and South Korea are investing heavily in AI research and development. India is leveraging its large technology workforce to become a major AI hub. The geopolitical implications are far-reaching, as AI capabilities increasingly determine economic and military power. International cooperation on AI governance is still in its infancy. The United Nations is developing AI governance frameworks, but progress is slow. The challenge is creating international standards for a technology that's evolving faster than regulatory processes can keep up. Different countries' approaches to AI governance reflect their broader values about privacy, security, and economic development. The environmental impact of AI is becoming a significant concern. Training large AI models requires enormous amounts of computational power, consuming electricity equivalent to small cities. Data centers powering AI systems are contributing to carbon emissions even as AI helps optimize energy use in other sectors. The industry is working on more efficient AI algorithms and renewable energy sources for data centers. The future of AI development is heading toward even more powerful and general systems. Current AI is narrow good at specific tasks, but unable to transfer knowledge between domains like humans can. Artificial General Intelligence (AGI), which would match or exceed human intelligence across all domains, remains a goal of major AI labs. While timeline predictions vary wildly, most experts believe AGI is still years or decades away. The emergence of multimodal AI systems that can process text, images, audio, and video simultaneously is creating new possibilities for human-AI interaction. These systems can understand context across different types of media, enabling more natural and intuitive interfaces. Imagine describing a scene verbally and having AI generate a detailed video, or showing AI a picture and having it compose music. Inspired by the image, robotics is being revolutionized by AI, creating machines that can adapt to new situations rather than just following programmed routines. Boston Dynamics robots can navigate complex terrain and recover from unexpected obstacles. Warehouse robots can work alongside humans safely and efficiently. Medical robots assist in surgeries with superhuman precision. The democratization of AI tools means that capabilities once available only to large corporations are now accessible to individuals and small businesses. No-code AI platforms allow people without technical backgrounds to build sophisticated AI applications. This democratization is accelerating innovation, but also making it harder to control how AI is used. The philosophy of AI development is evolving from pure capability advancement to consideration of safety and alignment with human values. AI researchers are increasingly focused on ensuring that AI systems do what humans intend them to do, rather than just what they're programmed to optimize for. This alignment problem becomes more critical as AI systems become more powerful. The future workforce will likely be hybrid humans and AI systems working together in ways we're still learning to optimize. This requires new management approaches, training programs, and organizational structures. Companies are experimenting with human AI teams to find the optimal division of labor between human creativity and judgment and AI's processing power and consistency. Education systems worldwide are struggling to adapt to AI's rapid advancement. Traditional assessment methods become obsolete when students have access to AI tutors. New pedagogical approaches focus on teaching students to work effectively with AI rather than compete against it. Critical thinking, creativity, and emotional intelligence become more valuable as AI handles routine cognitive tasks. The psychological and social impacts of AI are still being understood. As AI becomes more human-like in its interactions, people may develop emotional relationships with AI systems. This raises questions about manipulation, dependency, and the nature of human relationships. Some researchers worry about AI addiction, while others see potential therapeutic applications. The economic implications of AI extend to fundamental questions about work, value, and distribution of wealth. If AI can perform most human jobs, how do we structure an economy that provides meaningful work and income for everyone? Proposals range from universal basic income to job guarantee programs to fundamental restructuring of how we think about work and value creation. As we stand at this inflection point in human history, the choices we make about AI development and deployment will shape the future of human civilization. The technology is powerful enough to solve humanity's greatest challenges: climate change, disease, poverty, and more. But it's also powerful enough to create new forms of inequality, surveillance, and control if not developed and governed wisely. The AI revolution is not a distant future event that's happening now. Its pace is accelerating. Every month brings new breakthroughs that seemed impossible just years ago. The question is not whether AI will transform our world, but how we will choose to guide that transformation. We are the authors of our AI-powered future. The code may be written, but the story is still being told. And that story will be determined by the choices we make today as individuals, communities, businesses, and nations. The AI revolution is here, and our response to it will define the next chapter of human history. If this documentary opened your eyes to the AI revolution happening right now, I need you to do 3 things. First, hit that like button that tells YouTube that this kind of deep, research-based content matters and helps more people discover these crucial insights. Second, subscribe to this channel and ring that notification bell. The AI transformation is moving so fast that new developments happen every week, and I'm committed to keeping you informed about the changes that will affect your life, your work, and your future. Finally, share this video with someone who needs to see it. Whether it's a friend worried about their job security, a parent concerned about their kids' education, or a business owner trying to understand how AI will impact their industry, this information could change how they prepare for what's coming next. The AI revolution is here, and the more people who understand it, the better we can shape it together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.